United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. If we could have a roll call, please.
Mr. Knapp, Mr. Simonelli. Here. Mr. Wright.
Here.
Mr. Druschel.
Here.
Mrs. Miller.
Here.
Mr. Ward.
Here.
Mr. Mitchell.
Here.
Mr. Mayor.
Here.
You have a quorum, Mr. President.
Thank you. If I could have a motion to approve the minutes from our August 18th meeting. George?
I'll make a motion.
Thank you, George. And a second.
I'll second.
Thank you, Gene. Any discussion on the minutes? Everyone had a chance to look over the minutes?
Yeah, I have a comment. On page 6 or 7 there, at the very bottom, you know, I didn't use any name
You'd have to sit down.
when that came up.
Not a member, no, I didn't.
Okay, I didn't use any name or business in that statement, when I made my statement.
How do you want it to read?
You just scratch those out. I didn't use anybody's name or any business when I made my comment. Thank you.
Any other discussion? Everybody's good? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Pass our minutes. And our bills, if I could have a motion to approve our bills from our August 18th
I'll make that
meeting. Thank you, Jim. And a second, please.
I'll second.
Thank you, Doc. Any discussion on our bills? Everything looks good? Okay. All those in favor of passing our bills, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? We'll pay our bills.
Thank you.
At this time, we'd like to welcome our community visitors, and we'll have comments at this time. We do have one person on our agenda, Steve J. If you would like to come forward to the podium, give us your name and state your address, and tell us what's on your mind.
My name's Steve Jaroszewski. I live at 302 Prospect Street. I'm the owner of the warehouse sale. I'm here from ordinance 758, the skill machines. Unfortunately, those were taken away from us. Those were a great provider of income. I would like to read my thoughts to you guys that I've put together over the last 2 weeks. This does not just affect me, this affects other businesses in the borough. And ordinance 758 has caused a major loss of income for the hardest working people and their employees. Small business owners work their tails off for very little. We work 7 days a week. This money helps us pay our expenses. The income from the skill games is deposited as sales, and sales and income tax is paid on it. We use this money to pay an ever-increasing trash and electric bill. My trash bill is now $400 a month, where it used to be $280. I've seen my electric bill go as high as $2,000 a month. We've made $1.2 million in sales last year and employed 15 people with flexible employment. Like letting children come to work when they were sent home from school. My employees may attend family appointments without restriction. If they have important family needs, or they may have to come in late, I tell them to go and just come back. I employ school teachers and college students in the summer months, mom and dads during the school years from the most important hours of 9 to 2. I provide some of the most important jobs in our community. And I can expand this very largely if I wanted to, if I had the right building. But now that has been put in jeopardy with ordinance 758. There are people that play these games who do not drink, nor want to be in an alcoholic establishment. Not sure why we're tempting people with alcohol. Additionally, most of these people who play these games in my stores are waiting for other family members. Most of the hate on the skill games is based on TV characters and basically discrimination and racism. Skill games are beyond bars now, they are mainstream, they are all over the county. You can find them in gas stations, little stores, everywhere. Actually, they're out in Albion, there's a house out in Albion on Main Street that has skill games on its front porch. And there's people there that play them all the time. My store brings in hundreds of people every week to the borough to shop. I bring thousands of people on some special sales weekends, like this past Labor Day. We are now a travel destination with the internet people and the YouTubers. They travel all over from the USA. I get people from all over. I get Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Buffalo. Conyouts are one of our biggest places that people come from. Every week, in and out, for the last 10 years. When I started the warehouse sale, the stores on Main Street were empty. I took a big chance opening the warehouse sale here. I own one of the most beloved businesses in Erie County now. I would like to believe that my business helped Main Street grow and attract more people to this area. We help people obtain things they were never be able to with the ever-increasing costs. Now that has been put in jeopardy with Ordinance 758. The game of chance ordinance affects multiple businesses in the borough, some of which no longer have their machines due to this ordinance. This has limited much needed income and hurts their families and employees. Business costs are ever increasing. These machines can be found across Pennsylvania. These machines provide much needed relief for small, hard-working business community. Each one of these machines provide income for 3 different businesses. The machine owner, the local person who maintains them, and obviously the business that the machines are located at. But not only that, my 15 employees get the benefit from that income from those machines. So a total of 18 people at my place benefit from them machines. Those machines help me to pay my expenses. Small business owners need this now more than ever. A lot of these machines and all these places all over Erie County help pay the bills in the end. That's it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We appreciate your comments, and this is something that we'll take into consideration.
Yeah, this was a different experience.
Would anyone else like to address council this evening? Please come forward. Can you state your name and address for the record?
My name is Girard. I live at 6003 Teller Road, Girard. I own the Maximum Air Designs. I've been in the borough for 22 years. I maintain those machines at the warehouse. I also have one machine at the beer distributor. My question is, how this came about, and why did you guys decide to take them away?
We're here to listen to your issues. If you have something you'd like to tell us, we're here to listen.
But you won't tell me why you guys decided to do that? I'm curious,
Yes,
what was the reasoning behind it?
our ordinances are legal issues, and based on that, we do not comment on something that our solicitor should handle for us.
So you pick and choose who could have these machines. You guys won't tell me the reasoning behind that either?
Not at this time, yes.
And you guys also have an ordinance that you can't turn businesses into apartments downtown anymore? Can you guys tell me why you came across that?
This is a similar issue that we won't be providing answers at this time.
Well, I was just curious because I understand you wanna keep businesses downtown, for sure. You don't wanna turn downtown Girard into apartments. But you just took businesses away from small businesses. You took money away from small businesses, and I feel like that's hypocritical. And it's crazy how 7 people can decide somebody is paid. I mean, these machines didn't make a lot of money, but they made a little bit of money. And it's too bad. I know you guys aren't gonna take this away. I mean, it is what it is. You guys voted on it, but I really wish I would know the reasoning behind it. But that's all I have. I didn't get anything. Thank you though.
Would anyone else like to address council this evening? No one? Okay, we'll move right on to our committee reports. Anyone like to comment on our committees? Adopt West County Emergency Management?
Yes, a few things. Our radio report, Dave Wellman is gonna retire, and Jeremy Robeck is gonna take his place. So, that's one. There's gonna be, the American Red Cross is gonna put on some shelter classes. Time and when has not been determined yet. And we had a guest, KEMA, K-E-M-A, that's Keystone Emergency Management. They're gonna purchase a basket to raffle off at their get together, and it's a maximum of $75. Outside that, that's about all there is.
Okay, thank you. Any other committee report? Tree committee, anything?
A little sidewalk comment here. It was brought to my attention that our timing, when we have our code enforcer mark sidewalks, is too late in the season, and the contractors are already finished getting their bids. So there was a lot of concern by the people that had to do their sidewalks, that they really had a hard time finding contractors. So it needs to be shifted to a little earlier in the spring, like, mid-July, when the contractors they had the whole thing filled. So that's the only concern I heard from them about that. They would like to see the borough give them not more time, just take the time and move it to sooner, so she'll get it done sooner, and then they'll have time to find a contractor. There's just timing thing. I think that was it.
I believe we provide extensions if necessary, is that correct, Rob? Yes.
Yeah, when people call, we
They call.
work with them.
Yeah, I'm sure we do, but like I said, if she did it a little earlier in the season, then it would be more convenient for them to get a contractor, because the contractors don't have all the slots filled all the way to, we're booked.
That is good to know. This is
Yeah.
our first year using
Yeah.
a code inspector,
Yeah.
so that's information that we
Just
can
something
use,
that came up, yeah.
next year.
Yeah.
Okay, anyone else have a committee report?
Oh, for West County, did you have something you were?
West County paramedics,
I don't have anything, I
yes,
wasn't at the last meeting.
You were away, Rob
Mhm.
did attend. I do have a comment, on October 24th, the West County paramedics will be holding a health fair, where they'll have, health screenings and, food trucks. So it's a nice community event, on October 24th, West County paramedics. Anything else?
So at the meeting, the director, Jamie Snyder, was going through with the board all of the breakdowns for the different types of calls. So that's been worked out. And that's important to know for them, so they know that they're charging fairly for the communities and the communities they serve and the communities that they don't. So things seem to keep moving along there, all in the right direction, so
They're
thanks for
doing a great
letting us fill in.
doing a great job with regards to the revenue that they're generating, and the revenue stream now is very, very good. And there's some glitches like there will be with anything, but the problems are not feeling major anymore. They're feeling like they're digestible and workable as opposed to catastrophic, you know, like they were earlier.
Yes, a lot has been accomplished in a very short
No
time.
question, no
Yes.
question.
Okay, thank you. Anything else, Rob?
That was it.
I'll have some comments I'd like to share with AF Dover Hose and Ladder. Our American Legion Post 494 has continued to hold its annual 9/11 ceremony. Last year, previous years have been held at the Legion. Last year was held at the high school, and this year it was held at Dover Hose. It was very well attended, and it was a wonderful ceremony. Our keynote speaker that day was Rob Stubenborg, and Rob did a very nice, heartfelt speech, presentation. We had a very nice turnout of Lake City Fire Department, Lake City Police, West County Paramedics. Our mayors were there. Yeah, and West Ridge Fire Department came with their ladder trucks so we could use the 2 ladder trucks to hoist the flag for the ceremony. Mayor, Gordon, do you have anything that you'd like to?
No, it was really nice.
It was very nice, yes.
Rob did a good job, and it was a nice crowd there.
And we're one of the very few small communities that has continued this tradition.
The state police were there too.
State police, yes, state police.
It's hard to believe it's been 24 years.
Oh, and the Girard marching band was there.
Mhm.
It was very nice. Interesting enough, when we do these ceremonies, we keep in mind that so many of the attendees, especially the school students, weren't even living at the time of our disaster. So it's nice that they could come and learn more about what happened that day. We have a project, we have been working on constructing a storage building behind our fire department. We've been at this for several years, and as it turned out, we had to get an architect to approve the plans, and then Terry from BIU was involved and had approved the plans, and so since our last meeting, Jim Honiak from Elk Creek Ready Mix has poured our footer and foundation. Jim has been just a tremendous asset, help in doing this. We think he's given us an amazing deal, and he's gone above and beyond and actually done a few extras for part of our construction. And Terry from BIU is there often doing his inspections. I don't know if he's there daily, but I know he's attended quite often. And we'll have a kind of a barn raising on October 18th. We have one of our past members is I think he's an iron worker, he's a union contractor, and he will be bringing a crane to raise our trusses. And we're going to, it's a kit, it's a steel building kit that we purchased, and we're gonna figure this out. I think Doc, you're gonna be a big help. You know a little bit about construction. A little bit. So we'll be doing that beginning on October 18th, and we hope to have it accomplished before the bad weather sets in. We'll be just further down our agenda, we'll be discussing some funding, and I'll comment at that time on that. That's all I have for Dover Hose. Any other committees? Okay. Moving on to our administrative reports, our engineer, Mark Corey.
Yeah, good evening. The final touches on the Girard Hotel Park project were scheduled for today, that being the letters going on the front of the sign. Got delayed for a day, so that should happen tomorrow, starting in the morning, should be done by the end of the day. I'm sure we've all seen, grass is growing.
Fast,
Fast.
fast I've ever seen, I don't know how that happened.
Right.
It's a lot of grass in just the last day.
Yeah, so it's just in terms of the paperwork, finalizing the project, there's a change order for a couple of things that we requested of the contractor. The planting and landscaping of the curb lawn area that was not part of the original contract, as well as the access driveway. It was concrete removal and curb removal and replacement. Change order 4 is part of the final pay estimate, so I would recommend you approve change order number 4 in the amount of $4,550. And then the final pay estimate 3, is for $77,462.00. And again, that would complete the entire project.
That's the final.
That's the final.
Can I have a motion, to approve change
I have a
order?
question.
Number 4, okay.
On the change order 4 that we're on.
Can we have a motion first and then we'll
Oh,
discuss?
excuse me.
Okay, would you like to make that motion?
Excuse me.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Jim, and a second, please.
I'll second.
Thank you, George. Any discussion?
On change order 4 that we're doing, for $4,550. That's for the grass, it's from the street in, that section, there's like 3 sections there.
Along Rice Avenue, yes.
Yeah.
In addition to the,
Who said to do that? Was that in the bid process?
not in the bid process, but the contractor was asked to do that by folks.
By us?
Yes,
Oh, did you know about it?
I did, yeah. Yeah, I think it
I think
also
Peter and I
included,
discussed it.
I think it also included raising the curb a little bit further down.
Yes.
So there was some concrete work, there was no curb at all across from, the Clark building. So they, raised the curb up there, so there was actually a curb.
Some of the curb was, like, there was a road that people came in and exited, some people came in and exited, so to make it look more uniform. They made that curb so that people can't drive in and out of the grass, so that curb was placed, and then also there was some landscape to make it look.
So both of those items would have had to have been done eventually. This way they were just done in conjunction with the contract, but eventually they did.
So do we have
done.
a place for our public works now to go in?
There is a, what do you call it,
Curb
apron,
cut.
a curb cut, thank
Is
you.
it an apron?
There's a curb cut so they can get in.
And nobody else, I mean, can someone drive in?
No,
Theoretically, they're not supposed to.
Yes, they could, but it goes into grass.
But it's not really a parking area, so
There's not a parking area.
it's, I guess maybe it's possible someday we may need to post it as no parking, but we'll see how that goes. We did discuss that previously, on whether or not we're going to have parking there, and we decided not to have parking, but there will be access.
Yes, we want to make sure that
For maintenance.
that there was access for the maintenance, but we didn't want it to look like it was a parking area, so somebody could park their camper or park their walk in their country club. We want to make sure that the maintenance crew have access to mowing or whatever they had to do over there.
So the width of it, a car can drive.
Yep.
So the 77,000, that includes the 4,000?
It
Or the
does.
4,000, oh, it does include the 4,000?
4,550.
So we're done. So if anything dies now, our trees or anything, do we have any
Guarantee or?
guarantee?
Yes.
We do? For how long?
Well, there's some responsibility on the part of the borough.
Right.
The contractor's not going to water trees for
No,
a year.
no, I'm just saying, if, you know, all of a sudden you see, there's 2 dead trees, do we have any recourse?
We do.
So
You said for how
it's,
long? If we don't water them, then I'm gonna say we don't have recourse, but,
Oh, I understand that,
so,
but if we do what we're supposed to,
then we will
and
go
the
back to
tree
the.
still dies,
Correct, we go back to the contract,
for how long of a period?
1 year.
From what date, Mark?
Today.
When we approve the change order, which I hope we're going to do next. Any other
So that
discussion on
includes all
change?
the perennials that are around it, everything?
They're going to die when it gets cold, and then
I
they'll come back next
understand that,
year.
but what I'm saying, if the perennials do not come out, we have a year.
Yes,
to tell them,
I will
The
plant
daisies
new
didn't
perennials if
come
they
up.
don't come up next year.
There is a watering plan,
there is a what?
a watering plan.
Oh,
A plan
yeah,
to water.
yeah, there is a watering,
Dennis had it set up today and Councilmember, Drusch was offered to help keep the water flowing over there.
and is that the one that's right behind the sign?
That was your idea.
I know it
You
was.
bring that up.
Oh.
That was a good idea.
Is there any other discussion on change order number 4 for
What'd you say?
$4,950?
I would be a good time to say that, county council, we applied for a Greenway grant, that is from the Marcellus Shale refractor, factoring or whatever, fracking.
Correct.
And, every year Erie County gets approximately $300,000 from Pennsylvania. Erie County gets, they have about $1 million in that, and they're kind of on a spending freeze there, because of political reasons. But our park met the guidelines of the Greenway, and so I'm feeling confident that they will be awarding us $60,000. We applied for it a year ago, and it's kind of brass tacks time on a couple other municipalities as well. So we are one of 3 that have applied for this. It fit the parameters of the grant, so there's really no reason they shouldn't pay us out, particularly with the money that they have available. We asked for $60,000. Edinburgh asked for $40,000 and Harbor Creek or something, I don't remember the exact number. But, so they have a final on the 18th of September, and I feel that the next public meeting, although it's a week from Tuesday, tomorrow, I'll be there again and ask how our progress is coming. So we did receive monies, a lot of the park was paid for. Erie Community Foundation gave us some, we got some art money, and then we're hoping Erie County comes through, so.
Well, you got it from the gaming too.
And the gate.
25,000.
25,000, yeah. So a lot of the park was paid for, and I know a couple, people in the community were concerned about how much it cost, but a lot of it was covered by grant money, so. Just trying to get those grants in, and I'll keep you posted, the 18th, they'll be discussing it, and then next Tuesday, whatever that date is, I will be back at the public meeting to hear if we are awarded that.
Did this come from Jessica?
It came from county council, Jeffrey
Jeff
Cooper.
Okay.
Mark, I think it looks good, so you satisfied with?
I am.
Really nice, lot
Looks very good.
comments on Facebook, so.
And our experience with the grant money, if we don't apply and receive the money, someone else will.
Right.
So
Yeah.
the money is there
Money's there.
to be had,
Yeah,
we just have to.
and they get it every year. We're not depleting it, and we're just asking for it. We applied for it a year ago, and they have said nothing for a year. So I don't think that's fair.
When will we know on that money? Did I miss you saying?
Next Tuesday, a week from tomorrow.
Okay, thank you for your comments. If we could vote on change order number 4. Right. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed to paying change order number 4? Also, we should probably vote on the final payment,
Yes,
77,000.
for 62.
If I could have a motion to pay the final bill on the park is $77,462. And a second.
I'll second.
George, thank you. Any favor on paying our final hotel park bill? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Anyone opposed? Okay, we'll pay our hotel park bill, final bill.
Greg, I have another
Okay, Mark. go ahead.
agenda item, that being the painting of the Hathaway Street
Oh,
gutter
yes.
tank. So we talked about that last meeting. I was in touch with the contractor. Remember, it was supposed to be done last year and towards the end of the year. There was a conflict with the T-Mobile antenna and facilities on the tower. They were slow to move them this spring. They were slow to install a temporary pole and relocate them. Subsequently, that delay, no fault of the boroughs, no fault of our painting contractor. Painting contractor filled their schedule, and they're we're committed. So I asked, for a proposal to get it done this season. This proposal was a $70,000 increase. And I talked to him Friday and said, you're gonna have to work really hard to convince me that material costs went up 35%. He said, well, actually, paint costs went up 7%, that the additional money is for us to scramble, drop what we're doing, bring everybody up, stay in hotels, work overnight. I said, well, let's be honest, it's the middle of September, we're not getting it done this year. He said, we're committed to doing it, if it's not great, he said, let's talk in the spring and it'll be the first job. So it really is too late, even though the days are warm, the nights are cool enough that it just wouldn't work.
The weather could change real fast also.
And that could happen as
So
well.
we're looking at the springtime. now.
Correct.
Will it be the 70,000 less then?
No, well,
Well,
that,
it's a rush job.
so it might be, again, I think it's fair for them to present to us what the paint material cost increase might be. What the bulk of that $70,000 proposal was to do it now. That goes away, and we're just talking about a material cost adjustment next spring.
Okay, thank you. Everyone's, understands that we'll be delaying that project until spring. Okay, thank you. Moving on to our solicitor, Joe Yocum. Anything for us this evening, Joe?
Nothing at the moment, no.
Okay, we'll have our manager's report. Rob?
Item number 1, at this time, I'm certifying the 2026 police pension MMO, which is $145,017, and the 2026 non-uniform MMO, which is 0, and the 2026 administrative pension MMO is $27,575. Council is required to adopt the MMO in September. I respectfully request council to vote in favor of the 2026 minimum municipal obligations.
If I could have a motion, to pay our MMO. Something that this is a tradition that we do this every September. Thank you, Doc. And a second, please.
I'll second.
Thank you, Gene. Does everyone had a chance, the MMO forms were in our packet explaining the money that is due, where the money's coming from and how we need to pay? Any other discussion? Call for a vote. All those in favor, paying the MMO obligation, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? We'll pay. Thank you.
Thank you. Item number 2, budget adoption schedule. Council, please find and close the budget adoption schedule. The workshop is November 12th at 6 p.m. This year I'm requesting that every council member make a list of projects and expenditures that they have in mind for 2026 so we can limit last minute expenditures and plan for the expenditures in advance. An email list before the end of September would help me out very greatly. The more that we can avoid things popping up next year and surprises, the better off we're gonna be. Item number 3, concerning the water flushing. Fall water flushing will take place for 3 weeks, starting September 29th through October 17th. Any discolored water will clear up overnight. Item number 4, concerning the Volunteer Fire Relief Association. The 2025 state aid allocation supporting the Volunteer Fire Relief Association is scheduled to be direct deposited on the 17th. This year's amount is $16,782.90, and this money will then go directly to AF Dobler Hose and Ladder, as it does every year. Some people call this foreign firefighters insurance.
Yeah, this payment is a result of out-of-state insurance companies doing business in Pennsylvania, and they pay a premium, which is called the Volunteer Fire Relief Fund. And when Dover Hose has their monthly meetings, we actually have 2 meetings. We have a business meeting, and then we also have a relief meeting following that. And the relief meeting uses these funds, and the funds have restrictions. The restrictions are that it's used for equipment and training. And, we did approve our last meeting, to, pay $2,000, to, a training school in Butler that'll cover 250 hours of training. We do that every year, and we send our volunteers to Butler and, make use of those 250 hours of training so that they can get their certifications. And, they're part of their certifications so they can move on to the next level of firefighting. Someone, just starting out is not allowed to hold a fire hose until he gets his certifications, and then there are a number of, trainings after that. So that's, where we use that money. I'll just, add to this that, I don't know the dollar amount, but, Girard Township also receives relief funds, and that money will be funneled back into, their boroughs.
Item number 5, the Erie County Association of Boroughs meeting will be held Wednesday, October 15th at Union City American Legion. Start time is 6:30. If counselor and the mayor, if you're going, you could let me know. And if you're bringing a +1, you might wanna wait until we know what the meal's gonna be. Is it all buffet or
Yeah,
is
do
it?
you buffet?
Oh, it's a buffet, so email me anytime. Is that still the right information? This was right out of the book.
Yeah,
Okay. I saw today that you're having an executive meeting, so I wasn't sure.
when,
Okay. Number 6, leaf pickup. So the remaining leaf pickup dates are October 16, October 30th, November 13th, November 28th. I'll list this out on Facebook and send it out for the text.my.gov. Only 30-gallon clear plastic bags will be picked up. Item number 7, the civil service test produced 2 candidates for a part-time officer. I'm gonna ask Chief Rafferty to wait until the mayor's part, and then you can speak to that. Is that okay? Number 8, concerning the parking lines, paver maintenance will restripe the parking lines on Main Street in Borough. This project will now take place on September 18th. So we're asking everyone to not use the parking on Main Street for that morning. The police are gonna put up no parking signs, work with Public Works to get people off the street. They claim they can have them done in a very short amount of time, and it doesn't take long because they're doing the heat application. So once the lines are done and they set up, they'll open the parking as they go.
How many times have you had to do this?
This will be number 2.
Number 2?
So this is a warranty right here.
Okay.
Correct, from last year.
And the difference between this one and the last one was what?
That last one was a cold apply, and this is a heat apply. So this is the way they used to do it back when it worked.
Is there a warranty on this one?
You bet there is.
There's a warranty on the cold, there's a warranty on the warm?
You bet there is, yeah. Yeah, if it doesn't work, then we may as well have just painted it and save some money, and it's ridiculous that
But it looks great when it's done.
it does.
It looks like $1 million, you know?
It does. So hopefully it's a nice, hot, dry day when they're here on the 18th. Number 9, Little Explorers. Request has been made for signage for Little Explorers Academy on Olin Avenue. Because of the large volume of students being dropped off and picked up, the Academy's requesting signs to increase awareness. So I asked Dennis, can you recommend some signs that might slow down the cars? So we were thinking, watch children, but they would be this size and this color.
What street would they be located on?
Olin, the old St. John's
Yeah,
Church and
yeah.
School is
Very
now
good.
Little Explorers Academy. So the police have been patrolling over there, but as you all know, as soon as you see a police car, what do? Well, you jack on the brakes, so they're not catching any speeders. But we're hoping that these signs will slow people down enough. Help to protect the students. As far as I know, Little Explorers has been a huge success. They also provide an excellent service to the community, and I'm sure they greatly appreciate the support. They really haven't asked anything of us other than put these signs up. And they understand that the police can only do so much.
You're putting one north, one south, obviously.
Yes.
Okay.
There used to be signs there when St. John's School was active, but they were actual school signs. These are just gonna be watch children signs. But we're hoping that the size and the color will help to alert people that there's something going on there. Is that okay? There'll be an expenditure with that.
Do you think we should put white lines, in front of the school?
No. I wouldn't recommend that.
When they drop the kids off, do they drop them off?
In the
Or do
parking
they
lot,
take them
but
in the parking lot?
we're
See,
more afraid of,
Someone who's started running?
one of those kids getting loose or something.
Escapees?
I'm sure they
I
do
got
an
you.
excellent job, but just as a preventative measure, and you know, when you're dropping your kids off at a school, the last thing you wanna see is people racing by and,
Sure.
I know with the regular, school system, of course, we have the school zones. So in lieu of that, we're offering a couple signs. Really think it'll make a difference. I think it'll
You
help.
think there ought to be hours on the sign?
I think I think we should leave them plain so that people understand they should never be traveling. It's only at 25. And if you sit there and watch and you're not in a police car, they're traveling faster than 25. And, I know, I don't have to tell when we were neighbors, even Lower Olin, they scream down Olin and then they come up to that stop sign and they'll dead stop right there. But the travel is fast.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking it is on that part of the road as well. Item number 10. So, Councilmember Warren and I went to the Pennsylvania Municipal Electric Association meeting, and, yeah, I wish I had some better news to report, but, if you allow me to just read this. The electric capacity charges will continue to surge over the next years. Due to changes in our portfolio and the sharp increases in the capacity charges, along with increasing electric demand, the borough's current cost of $73.15 per megawatt hour will climb to $89 in 2026, then to $92.68 in 2027. For the 2025 budget, we worked hard to keep the increase at a minimum, but that'll be a lot more difficult this year. Just sort of giving forewarning all this. Currently, the borough residential cost for 1,000 kilowatt hours is $151. A First Energy customer using the same 1,000 kilowatt hours is paying $222.75. So we're well below the investor-owned utilities. The increasing costs are not limited to Girard Borough Electric. At the conference, we learned that all 35 PA electric communities, as well as the investor-owned utilities in the PJM market area, will continue to see significant increases that will be passed on to customers. It's in the news. Even our governor has been involved trying to do what he can to mitigate the situation, but they're saying, the increase in electric cars, the increase in these, the AI, with the AI coming on board, and these are, very large companies that are working on these AI units, and they use a lot of electric, and they're willing to pay for it, and, part of that means that we'll all be paying more until the generation part of that catches up. So, if there was one thing that was a reoccurring theme at the conference, it's that the prices are going up. So I just wanted to make everyone aware of that before the,
So this, 2275 that the other, that'll be going, everybody's going up, I mean, right?
with the, investor owned, I'm not too sure. I mean, they've been raising theirs, significantly. I did provide some information. Their 4-year increase is 41% for Penelec. That's First Energy, that's who surrounds us. 41% over the last 4 years. We've been nowhere near that. And I did include, with council, some of the other pricing. We are very much mid-range even for, a municipal electric. We're certainly not the highest, and we're a lot closer to the bottom of what other municipalities charge. So,
You ever have any thoughts and ideas about allowing, Girard residents to make their own power and everything? I know it's against the regulations
yeah,
right
so
now.
the reason we don't do that is because we actually plan for and pay for all the electric that's used in the borough.
Yeah, but then if other people are making their own electricity, it'll be less burdensome on the, you know, for you to get electricity from other sources, and then people can have their own electricity.
There hasn't really been any conversation to that. The problem with the solar is that it isn't gonna work at night.
Well, there's more than
There's
just
batteries.
solar too, there's, you know, wind and everything else, and
Yeah, a lot of that technology has a long way to come
Yeah.
yet.
and with
for-
our,
for
even
now,
with our
we-
own plant, we could, you know, try to generate more or make a bigger plant.
Well, I think.
Cause like, back in the sixties, we had our, you know, we generated all of our own electricity.
I'm not saying they would never be considered, but for right now, it's not.
So if there
I
was
just-
more people who did that, then taxes would go up to counteract that, to pay for it because of our electric company
Source of revenue.
as our source of revenue. So you win on one end, but you lose on the other end, cause then everybody will be taxed. See what I'm saying, Fred?
We depend on the revenue.
If we depend on the revenue.
Yeah, I know you
that's what
depend on
keeps
the revenue,
Our
that's-
taxes low, is that system, so.
That's all I had, Mr. President.
Nothing on miscellaneous. Moving on to our mayor and police report. Mayor?
I got a couple things before Chief speaks. The Hagen History Center, last week, they had their key hunt going on. And I don't know if you noticed or not, but they had a clue in front of the borough building around some of Dan Rice's statues. And there were quite a few people, looking for the clue and crawling around on their tummies and stuff. So, that was, nice to be part of that. A couple hundred people participated in this key hunt. And last week's clue, brought them here to the borough building. Also, the Hagen History Center is gonna have a farm-to-table dinner on September 25th and 26th. It's a Thursday and Friday at the White House. Just so the police department's aware of that.
Is that the White House?
It's at the White House this year, outside. And, we sent out some ECRA, our downtown association, and maybe Mrs. Miller's gonna cover this, but, we did, receive $150,000 from ECRA for residential homes. So we, are going to be, doing some of the east-west streets, this time, so Liberty, Prospect, Wilcox, Church, we didn't do yet, and, so, 76 letters went out to residents this week, and also, we received, a designation a few years ago for a historic district in our downtown, from Walnut to Rice. And we are asking the businesses if we can put a plaque on their building at no charge to them, with the history of their building, pretty much just a one paragraph. 30 letters went out to the business owners, particularly the people that own the buildings from Walnut to Rice, this week as well. Also was the wording that we'd like to put on the plaque. There is some, we can change the wording a little bit if the business owner wants us to, but, we put the historical ownership of the building, what it was in the 1900s, late 1800s. So you'll be getting one of those.
I was gonna say, when is this coming?
Yeah, that'll be this week, so, and we're asking the, businesses to give us permission to put the plaques up. They'll be ordered this fall, probably put up in the spring, no charge to the business owners. And then the borough will, pay for the plaque and also maintain them if they get tarnished over the years. The borough will own them, but they'll be affixed to the, businesses. We're hoping to get 100% participation, but we can know that some people may not want to participate. We're hoping. We have 30 buildings along Main Street that we have decide that we'd like to put the plaques on.
Do you mention the date you're having this for the people?
Yes, so on the streets that we talked about for the residential, we're gonna have a public meeting, and that is going to be in the social area next door here, on Monday the 29th at 6 p.m. And like I said, we sent out, 76 letters to residents on those streets. So those went out in today's mail, so I believe they'd have them by the weekend. Also, I wanted to share that, I had a friend come up over last weekend, and he had an EV, which is an electric vehicle. I know we all know that, but McQuillan's EV charging station is not working. He changed providers, and there's some glitches, so there was no place for him to charge a electric vehicle in Girard. I think the closest was Wegmans, but I don't believe that was working, and he had to go up by the mall to charge the vehicle. I know we don't sell gas, but we do sell power, and I see a lot of municipalities, and I know Mr. Jim doesn't totally agree with me on this, but a lot of municipalities are offering EV charging stations. So for what it's worth, I know I don't vote, but I certainly would like to see an opportunity for somebody to charge an EV that's traveling through. And I do think we have enough space on some of our borough properties for an EV charging station. They don't take much space anymore. So, just something to consider. Also, I sit on the board of the Erie Airport, which is one of my least favorite boards that I sit on, but we hired a new full-time police officer there, and I did talk to Kevin about this, and just before he talks, I wanted to say, we have a nice young police officer that's looking for more than an 8-hour job. And I asked him if he would consider being a police officer at Girard Borough, and he would love to be, but he'd have to take our civil service test. I'm wondering why. He's already a policeman. Why does he have to take another civil service test to be part-time here? And it's just what the board has done. Our council has insisted on that he takes another civil service test. I know we're having a hard time finding part-time people. He has a full-time gig with benefits, and he's a nice young man, so I know that we got 2 applicants and maybe that's all we need, but tried and true, this gentleman, I think would be a good asset to our part-time police department. And at that point, I'll let Chief Rafferty talk about the police department.
Okay, just a couple quick things, like Rob mentioned, we did have the civil service test, received 2 applicants, we're currently doing the background investigations, and hopefully get one or both hired here and trained in time to provide some relief for the holidays. I just have that, and also, for the quality of life ordinance passed, we did receive our notifications and our citations today for that, so we have put that in effect as of today. We actually got these door hanger notices where we can put down the violation, how many days they have to correct, put that on their door. If it's not complied within the days, then we have the tickets, almost like a parking ticket that we would issue. So, yeah, that's all set and ready to go, and we actually put them out today.
So if somebody has to use this, we just need to contact the police department and tell you the address and why?
Yes.
I have a question, you had a question about the.
I was just gonna ask,
ordinance?
then the follow-up on that is to you. So we send, they get the letter, we wanna know what happened, so within a week, we give you a call and say, how'd this go?
Yeah, you could do that. It's, the way our record management system works is when we dispatch a call, we'll dispatch a call for an ordinance violation. The officer will put in there what violation was in there and how many days the notice was issued to correct. And if it's not completed within that time frame, then they export that incident to a case report, which is like an arrest, where that'll give them a record of the ticket issue. It's one of our officers actually just created an Excel spreadsheet that'll notify the officer that they can put each ordinance notice put in there and when it expires, and it'll alert them when it's expired, so they know to issue a ticket then.
Good if I'm the person raising the complaint, and I wanna know if it got rectified, how do I know?
Yeah, you could call us,
Oh,
it's,
you-
we'll have records of all of them.
Okay.
I think it'll be a lot better than the past system of issuing a certified letter, and said, sometimes it's for high grass where they had 5 days to correct it. It would take 2 to 3 weeks to get that certified letter returned before we could actually enforce the 5 days, so that, this way we can put something on the door and it's immediate.
Mayor, did you have a comment?
Yeah, I just wanted to say too that sadly, we had a resident take their own life last week, and Officer Zern and our chief were the first people there, and the patient was still alive, and they did try to help the fire department and West County paramedics, and our police officers had to be there while she passed, and we think the Girard Police Department's an easy job, and my hats go off to Officer Zern and to Chief for helping in that situation and being there for someone at their last minute. And not every day is a piece of pie in Girard Borough, so thank you for what you guys do.
Did Lifestar respond to that call?
It was too late.
But did they come? I know we had to provide a staging area for them.
Right, I don't believe they.
No, they canceled Lifestar.
Okay. I have a question. Last month, you gave us a fair amount of information on neighborhood electric vehicles. And a lot of it had to do with the requirements and how easily someone using a neighborhood electric vehicle, like a golf cart type thing, how they could be in violation of a number of different laws that are provided by the state. I guess when I looked over that, I could see there would be a nightmare for the police.
Because it's difficult to enforce. And
Very, very difficult, proof of insurance, any number of things, those restrictions required. What would be your opinion if we actually had an ordinance against neighborhood electric vehicles? Would that be helpful to the police?
It's, like I said at that meeting, I wasn't coming to say I was for or against restricting them.
Would it
I
be
would say
helpful?
it's too new right now to say whether or not they would be a problem or not. It's in town here where we only have a couple areas over 25 miles per hour. I don't think it's as much of an issue, but it's like one of them, I saw state police the other day had pulled over because they came from the township where it's 55 miles an hour, they're not allowed to drive them on there.
But you stated that they're allowed to drive on 25 miles an hour. Well, is it very possible that would be the first violation, that they're speeding? How could do we have a means of enforcing someone going 45 on an electric vehicle?
Didn't we, Kevin, have this about 10 years ago?
Golf cart.
Yes.
Golf cart.
Well, it was, yeah, it was.
Well, I fought this fight as a very, very young district attorney, where a local church in our area had purchased a golf cart for somebody that was disabled, and
Right.
drove it all over town.
Yeah.
And the state police cited him. And
Was that
everybody
right
was
there?
running from it. They charged him out at Saxon's office. Saxon didn't wanna hear it. Charlie Wise ended up coming out to hear it, and Charlie Wise threw it out. But, I mean, you can't win, because generally you're dealing with a, extreme poverty situation.
Right.
Where they're trying to be nice to the guy, but the fact of the matter is that if he has any kind of an accident, he's in real trouble. And yet the public opinion is such that if you try to enforce an ordinance against that person, you really run the risk of creating a firestorm of support for the vehicle where, it really shouldn't be permitted to be out on the road at all as a vehicle, because it's just not safe. It's designed to go in fields and in golf courses, that's where it's safe, but not out on the road. So, I mean, you go talking about making an ordinance, and there's a can of worms there to be opened, and I would suggest that if you have any consideration to do that at all, that we approach the district attorney about her thoughts about it, and get some input there as to whether she thinks it's viable, for you to make that argument in the first place.
This is a little different because these vehicles are required to be, road ready.
Right,
Brakes,
yeah, Mr. Ray,
brakes,
you weren't
horns.
here last month,
No, I wasn't.
Yeah.
yeah, I can provide you the information, but there's actual neighborhood vehicles. A golf cart wouldn't fall under it.
Mhm.
These things almost look like a cross between a golf cart and a side-by-side.
ATV maybe?
Yeah, and it's, Pennsylvania's deemed that if they get them registered, have certain insurance and so on, then they can ride them on roads that have a 25-mile-an-hour speed limit.
Mhm.
And the municipalities and state can give them permission on roads up to 35, I believe it was.
They do that all through.
But, yeah, so it's not like
almost
a golf
literally
cart.
just like Nader's book on safe and speed.
Yeah.
You know,
so-
I mean, it's just, you can't win that fight.
Does,
Yeah.
does Fairview have an ordinance on?
I'm not aware of where you have it,
Where my daughter lives there,
yeah.
those golf carts are, flying down the road left and
Yeah.
right.
But is that?
Kids driving them
In a neighborhood though?
in a neighborhood.
Yeah, that's the difference, I think.
In the neighborhood vehicles, it does say in there that they have to sign a waiver when they purchase them, stating that they understand the risk they're taking by having one of those on the road, because they don't have the same crash rating as a full vehicle, but that would be my only concern, is if one's involved in an accident, could be a lot more dangerous.
So do they do anything like this, and don't take this wrong there, that, electric bikes, do they do that, same thing with them, tell them the rules of the road?
No, electric bicycles are allowed on the road as
Yeah.
long as they're below a certain ampage and they can't go over 20 miles an hour.
Okay, so let me give you a story. I'm coming into town, I'm out here, I see a guy in front of me zooming along, just before Church Street. He cuts across from this lane to this lane, the light turns red, he's now in this lane, he goes through the red light, now there's a car coming at him, he goes back up to the middle lane, and he was going 31 miles an hour, cause the blinking lights, the light things there, caught him at 31 miles an hour on an electric bike, no helmet, runs down the road, pulls back over to the wrong side of the road, runs down the road, pulls a Mike D'Angelo's.
Yeah,
I sympathize with you because this is such a pain, and I mean, they just need to follow the rules of the road.
Yeah,
And it's just pain, it's sad.
Pennsylvania's been
Somebody's gonna
very
get killed.
different about the laws on these e-bikes, and then like an electric bicycle, you're allowed to ride on the side of the road as long as it meets certain specifications. The wheels have to be certain size, below a certain ampage and below 20 miles per hour. But then the electric scooters you see, those aren't allowed on the sidewalk, the roads, anywhere.
Wow.
And it's,
Boy, they're all over them.
yeah,
Yeah.
I said it's one day leaving work, I had one of those riding alongside me over by Frando at 50 miles an hour,
Yeah.
he was keeping up with me. And so I can foresee some changes in the laws on those coming out, but Pennsylvania's trying to catch up, the technology's changing faster than the laws do, like everything else.
Fred?
I'd just like to add that all throughout Ohio, they allow that. They allow four-wheelers on the road, they allow golf carts on the road.
They don't have vehicle inspection either.
And they only have vehicle inspection, and they seem to have no problem with it.
We should move to Ohio, huh?
Yeah.
I was getting gas in Ohio about
Yeah.
a month ago, and some guy's car caught on fire. I see him pumping the gas, and he moved the car out, and the guy's, and he's underneath his car trying to put the fire out, the flames are going. And Kim goes, well, we're lucky we have inspection, that's what they do. Lucky we got the fire.
Mayor and police, we're all set?
That's all I have.
Okay. Moving on to council member comments. Council member comments, Jim?
I think I did that.
Okay, thank you.
I'm good, thank you.
Thank you, sure.
With the help of Jeannie and Rob, we ordered 2 new trash cans, and they're on I think the hotel part. So the trash can originally ordered, looked at, didn't have a lid on it, and I said, we got 5 foot of snow last year in Girard, we maybe need to get a trash can to get a lid on it, so we ordered 2 trash cans with it, and it was, you wanna say who,
Oh, the historical was kind of historical.
so it's no cost to the borough, it was donated to the
Nice.
Historical Society. I've been working with, on the monument with Fossil, Monument, I guess Stephanie Winnick, is that her name?
Winzig.
Yeah, she supplied me with some information for the Erie Canal, and she supplied me with some information for the hotel. I have to get that to Fossil to put the actual monument together, so. And then Marine Wright and I met with, Chris Hetz and, T.C. Phillips on the trees for Pine Tree. Rob, you have the information?
You have a written quote?
Got a written quote for that, yeah. So there's 22 trees, and we came up with the tree that they felt was best was a crimson,
Crimson Sunset.
crimson sunset maple.
So there's 22 of them. They are B&B, build and bulb, so they're not bare root. Unit price is $133 a piece. Extended price is $2,926.
I do have something to say. It has to do with trees, unfortunately.
Trees?
But, back on page 6 of 7 again, it says here, Councilman Drew shall get the names of trees approved for replacement of locust trees. I don't think it's just locust trees, it's any tree in the borough, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so that, where it says locust tree there, and at the bottom should be, just say trees.
They recommended 2 trees, one was the crimson maple, and the other was the ivory silk Japanese maple.
Did you,
Ivory silk lilac.
did you look up the specs on that, like we did?
He gave me all the specs, yeah.
Okay.
This isn't anything that.
Oh, yeah, I'd like to know, I mean, if you don't wanna get something that's gonna be,
The crimson southern maple, it's a slow grower. It has to be 40 feet between, you can go over that when you plant it. It's 35 feet high, 24 feet wide, but it takes 40 years for that to be full growth, so
Oh.
none of us
Be
in this
around for
room will
that.
be around when that happens, so it's 40 years.
You might be.
Pass it on to the next one.
oh, you got, all your young kids are behind.
So we felt, we felt that tree had a little more substance, you know, when you take a look, and it's gonna be on our street, Pine Tree Drive, and you look down, you can see the tree that had a little bit of substance to it, but, that was 133.
Now, that's curb,
Remember
we're
this-
talking about curb line trees again?
Correct, yes.
And how long is the space there between the sidewalk and the road there? You
I'm
got
not
it?
sure on that.
And that was, we brought that up and you
Yes,
said you
I
might
have
have
a
that.
note on that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Some of the curb lines are only this big.
Not on Pine Tree.
Well, no, but some of these neighborhoods.
The other was the ivory silk lilac, that's a slower growth, it's a smaller tree, 20 feet tall, 15 feet wide. Has some white flowers late spring, summer, 30-year full growth. So that one isn't as big, so we just felt that would be, if you planted 22 of those, you'd be looking at it seems like a small tree, you know, where the other one had a little more substance to it, so. So anyway, and we asked Chris, he said, Peter Burton asked if you would give us your very best price, and he said, tell Peter Burton I said hello, and we'll give him.
I was gonna say.
He said, we're giving you our very best price, so. We talked about how to plant it and stuff, and we can, actually T.C. Phillips is the VP there, so T.C. Phillips and Chris Hetz, we met, those are the 2 people, met, but Chris Phillips, T.C. Phillips lives on Pine Tree. So he's gonna put 2 in his yard, so I'm sure he wouldn't put a tree in his yard that he didn't think would be a halfway decent tree.
So when's this gonna happen?
We're gonna take them out of the ground in mid-October, and they'll need to be planted shortly after that.
And we're planning them?
We're planting, not me. I can't come up to you talking you and me, you plan, we, you and me?
You have a shovel?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Doug, I got something for you to do.
There's a couple, squares along Main Street that trees have died. Can we replace those at the same time, Rob, or,
Sure.
Sir, are there any trees on curb lawn right now, on Pine Tree?
Not on the one side, no, several years ago. they took
So is that
out-
where these are going on the one
Correct,
side?
Correct, yeah.
Wiped them out.
Yes. But this isn't anything that can go under Jessica's plan before, remember when she did trees?
No, the tree vitalize won't be until next year.
Okay,
We'll take those two though, Gene.
but you'll
We
take
have
it,
the stuff from Jessica, and Erie County, we'll take those trees too. I mean, there's a lot of homeowners that actually do want a new tree in their yard,
oh, okay,
just not a locust tree.
please.
That's all I got. Are we, yeah. We have to approve that, the purchase sales for October, is that nothing?
Yeah,
Is it in the, it's not in the budget?
it's not in the budget, no.
We should have a motion on that.
Yes.
We have a motion on planting trees on Pine Tree.
I'll make the
I'll make-
motion.
Oh, I was gonna say, before he jumps,
I think people that live on Pine Tree, that might be a conflict.
I was gonna say.
Okay, all right, I withdraw my motion.
Looks like Gene, your motion,
Yeah, I'll make
and a second, please. A non-Pine Tree resident.
Guess that's me or Doc.
Flip a coin,
Go ahead.
what do we wanna do?
They worked pretty hard on this.
Come on, Doc,
I'm
show us
gonna-
your way.
I'm gonna, I'll second it because it needs to be voted on.
Okay. We've had discussion on the cost and, the number of
Do
trees.
you have it first?
Yes.
Yeah.
Gene.
Oh.
Yeah, it was Gene. Any other discussion? All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Anyone opposed? Okay, we'll plant some trees. Next on the council member, Doc, you have something?
Yeah, I'd like to, thank the streets department for fixing the catch basin across kitty corner from my house. It was about 8 inches deep, now it's up to a couple inches, which is very wonderful. But we always had to stop when we're pulling into our driveway if somebody's coming south on account of that catch basin, to let them get by so I could scoot out around it. But now I don't have to. And I sure appreciate it. And I hope we do a lot more of them in the borough.
Amen.
There are several that I'm aware of. There's someone that rides an e-bike. Those things are really nasty. Anything else, Doc?
No.
Anyone else? Let's see. Gene?
Yeah. One thing, did we ever find out about the monument that you're gonna start with the company in Cleveland?
About the bird's nose?
No,
But-
bird's nose. They had said it was, remember, who was it?
Yeah, Doc, Al, I think Al
Oh, was it Al?
mentioned that there was some, issues
Cracking?
with the monument.
We don't wanna use caulking on that thing. That water will just back up.
Is that what he said? No, I
Tell
don't.
him, Fred, you wouldn't wanna do that.
No.
Nope,
What are we doing?
you wanna leave it like it is, it's
Yeah.
made,
When
it's
Milano
made to be like
Monuments
that.
cleaned it, they saw no, I asked Mike Milano, and he said they saw no issues with any cracking on that statue when they cleaned it last year.
It was the, there was the caulking in between, and it was only surface caulking, which we don't wanna do, the water will get trapped in there and freeze.
Right.
Crack it more. I mean, that,
Right.
cause when you put the cannons in, it was kinda the same.
Right.
They just sit there, and that way the moisture can dissipate.
And so when somebody hits them, they can fall apart like a domino. But knock on wood, nobody's hit.
That will never happen.
It's like
Never.
Beetlejuice
Couldn't
starts
happen. No.
Yeah, I think we're fine on the monument.
All right, okay. That's
Gene,
fine.
anything else?
No.
I have a comment. Is there anyone on council that'll be, having a birthday tomorrow and, reaching another very large, huge milestone? Not on council, how about in this room?
Rob?
I'm gonna be off tomorrow, Mr.
Happy birthday.
Got 6
to
decades.
Rob, how old are you gonna be?
60. How about you, Jen?
My husband's turning 62 this year. Must be a popular
It was a
number.
good year, yeah.
you.
Right,
Your
Dennis?
child.
Yeah, right.
Happy birthday, Rob.
Thank
Yes,
you,
yes.
thank you all
You're
very
taking
much.
the day off?
I am, yeah,
Taking the day off, okay, for your birthday.
I am.
Gonna do something fun?
I'm gonna go up to Peters and ride the horses.
Wonderful, very nice.
And if, those lines don't work out for you next year, you're gonna try the grinding method, as I told you before, that would work?
The parking
The
lines.
parking lines,
Oh,
remember I told you about grinding and that eliminates.
Fred, these are gonna work.
Yeah, okay.
Are they doing everything or just the parking lines?
Just the parking lines, but basically from, the post office down to Country Fair, all the parking.
Just lift that plow
on the
up.
street is,
But not all the stuff that was in the lane?
that's PennDOT.
Uh,
So I'm not sure what PennDOT's gonna be doing. I know, they've also been taking care of a lot of the PennDOT work that they've been doing, but I don't know if they'll get to ours this year or not. Apparently, Meadville is inundated with the same junk that we have, so I know they're dealing with that, but our Public Works Department went ahead and peeled up all these lines and, you know, it took a lot to get it up, but at the same time, it came off. You know, with the strength of a human, we didn't use any machinery. And those guys are strong, don't get me wrong, but,
They worked hard, I'm glad.
yeah, I mean, it wasn't on there the way it's supposed to be. It's supposed to take a good scraping for years. My thought was 4 to 5 years, we wouldn't have to paint anything. So, yeah, it's a terrible disappointment, and it's not necessarily cheap. But we thought, well, if we don't have to paint it every year, then it's worthwhile. So we were really shocked and surprised, that they came up. So, but it's gonna work, Fred. It's gonna work.
It's the heat treat.
This time.
Yeah,
Yeah, heat seal this time.
I've seen it. I've seen it.
I'd like to take a short recess and then we'll, go into an executive session to discuss, financial and personnel. Thank you everyone for coming.